It's a world of assassinations. Well, 6 maps worth at least. That's right, it's Hitman 3. Agent 47 is back at it again, exploring a world searching for the perfect kill. We're here to conclude that trilogy and see how this latest version rates. But do we have a silent assassin here, or just a jackass with a BB gun? Let's dive in.
What the hell? This here.
Hitman 3 is, that's right, you guessed it, the 3rd installment to this rebooted fan favorite series. The series has always been about freeform murder, and Hitman 3 is no exception. They drop Agent 47 off at the gate with nothing more than a smile and a plan, and say, go get him! You're free to complete the objective however you can. You can follow the mission stories, which are scripted events that will lead you to your hit.
Now go get Imogen Roy.
But you are also welcome, if not encouraged, to explore the map and discover your own method to execute the target. This is Hitman's strongest asset, the player agency. To complete any objective however you want is unlike almost any other game out there. Not to mention the replayability. Replaying a level to explore other options and reaching a new mastery, which in turn unlocks new options for the hit, such as disguises, new starting locations, or bringing in concealed weapons. However, this could all be said for Hitman 1 and 2, and not much has changed except for the maps. So if you're not a fan of the Hitman games, but are hoping this one can change your mind, move along. The controls are the same graphics, same everything. So take this however you want, good or bad, it's more Hitman. Although Hitman 3 does have 5 new playgrounds for the player to immerse themselves in, they may be the weakest in the entire franchise. They're definitely the weakest of this trilogy. In fact, out of the 5 new maps, I'd say only 2 are even worth a damn. The Wine Vineyard and the Knives Out inspired Manor. These maps have character, variety, and emblematic of the light, quirky humor expected from the series. It was an absolute joy to smash the target like a grape with this oversized boot. Not to mention the subsequent reaction of, no big deal, from the staff. Where'd she go? Oh well. What the fuck? What are you talking about? These are the moments that sell the game, and it's a joy to seek them out, even on the less than maps. Hitman 3 is by no means a bad game. It was well worth my time and money, but a lack of innovation or evolution in gameplay, on top of the weakest maps, holds this game back just a little bit for me. So I'll give Hitman 3 an 8.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this.
But the real question is how to make that 8 a 10. This one's kind of tough because I can't really change the gameplay mechanically in any way. That would really just defeat the purpose of Hitman. On top of that, since Hitman 2 was literally just more Hitman, it stands to reason that Hitman 3 would follow suit. So we don't really want to change the gameplay. Now, Hitman does try a couple new things. They add a phone mechanic. The phone you use to scan the environment to unlock electronic doors and gather intel, but that's as far as it goes, and it's really not even implemented the best way. Another addition is the VR, but it's still just played with a controller in first person. It's okay, but I'd be willing to bet that it's not the preferred method for people, even those who own a VR. The only thing I can think of in terms of gameplay would to be maybe tweak and refine the gunplay for those people who want to blast their way through a level. But even that idea I'm a bit iffy on because, again, that's not what Hitman is about, and I don't want to see Hitman become just another third-person shooter. But it is an option for the series moving forward. Unfortunately, as lame as it may be, the real problem is the maps. And I don't want to just say, make the maps better. That's just lazy. So I've examined the issues and maybe came up with some possible solutions for map design. So let's examine these maps. The issues with the maps in Hitman 3 is that they're just less memorable. The first is a hotel in Dubai. Aside from the visuals, I've played hotels in Hitman before. The second is the best in the whole game with a murder mystery manor. The third is a nightclub next to a biker gang hideout. Both have been done. Fourth is the ICA headquarters in China, but majority of the map is just an underground tech facility. Nothing new there. The fifth is a wine vineyard. That one's all good. And finally, the 6th, an Uncharted-style train. That's new, but it's linear. So, 2 issues. 1, they force narrative story into these maps, and I think that may have handcuffed the devs. I say this because when your game is about the maps, you are constantly having to one-up yourself. But the devs can't stretch their creative legs if they're constantly having to force narrative into these maps. 2nd, the maps overall are lacking those iconic Hitman moments. They feel a little too serious. Too much put a bullet in the head and not enough eaten by a giant shark kind of stuff. My plan to fix this? Well, I think every map should follow a basic structure of start in a really cool area or situation, then the later part of the map can be pushed into a story area. You could also just create more unique reasons or situations for Agent 47 in the first place. That's what the Manor and the Vineyard both do. The next thing I believe would help the maps would be have like a thermonuclear option for every map. Like the most insane outlandish win condition. You could add like a flamethrower or a tank. Or maybe airstrike a building, killing every NPC. These would be just crazy insane memorable moments for each map. Now, while there will always be that subjective opinion of what maps are your favorites, maybe this could narrow the gap in quality. These last few changes are more things they can implement into the franchise moving forward, because if they bring back all these current systems, I'm going to be pissed. 1. New gadgets. Agent 47 is going to need some new gadgets and tools to make NPCs do what he wants. Right now everything is just some version of poison or mines, both explosive and stun. I could go for some like detonating cell phone bombs, which could double as a lure. Maybe some sort of mind control serum that lets you take control of NPCs, and that way you could be at 2 places at once. Or you could take a page out of Watch Dogs' book and maybe a hacking tool that moves cars or activates elevators. Not even to mention the drones that you could start working with. And 2, the gadgets tie directly into an improved mastery system. I think I would prefer something similar to Blood Money, where you could make a certain amount of money for each hit and your rating for it. You are then able to spend that money into customizing your weapons and unlocking new gadgets with new abilities. On top of that, you will be able to buy options for the mission with the currency. New starting points, disguises, and whatnot. I think adding these systems would actually improve what is already an impressive replayability of the game. All of these are just minor tweaks to what I believe is already the pinnacle of Clockwork sandbox games. No other game has the options, the replayability, or the quirky fun. So I chose to go in a different direction for this how to fix. Too bad it's my 3rd of this trilogy, and it's very much been there, done that. Hopefully, my changes will give the series new direction while holding true to its roots. Hopefully.